If you hold Bitcoin, this one is very, very important because since we've ended up dropping down, we have started to see some bounces off that $20,000 level, right? The first one that we got was this nice initial 14% pump off the $20,000 level, but it didn't last. Bitcoin's dropped right back down a further 10%, and we're basically back down to the very low $20,000 range right now. And this has strong implications for what might happen next. We are potentially looking at breaking down as early as tomorrow, but there's also some cool bullish signs that I want to show you on this chart. So I'm going to be putting out everything that I'm seeing on the table for you in this video right now. I'm probably going to be uploading another one later on tonight as well. So make sure you are hitting the like button and staying subscribed to the YouTube channel. But here's the thing, guys. The first thing that I want to start off by talking about here is actually the 1 hour Ichimoku cloud. Okay, this is a very, very important indicator, and you guys know the deal for me if you've already been watching this channel for a while. But if not, put this in the YouTube search bar and watch my tutorial on this indicator. We didn't even hit the 1 hour Ichimoku cloud when we got this bounce up, and that to me is massively worrying. That is a big sign of the market pretty much just lacking strength as far as I'm concerned, because if we've managed to see, I mean, we did drop to an absolute low on this chart of $20,051, and this is Bybit, so it's not actually good data. You don't want to be using leverage exchange data for markets like this. This is good if you're trading it, but if you're just analyzing it, you want to stick to Coinbase, or I mean, I don't know about Coinbase, but something that's spot definitely. In any case, we did end up bottoming out. And by the way, the difference between Bybit and Coinbase was $20. So there is no difference. You can use Bybit if you want to, but you generally will stick to spot ones if you care about having real data. In any case, I can't help myself from making these technicalities clear. We got quite a strong, I mean, I don't want to call it a strong bounce, but we got it's a decent bounce from the $20,000 level, but that's exactly the thing. It was from the $20,000 level, and we didn't even muster the strength to reach that 1 hour Ichimoku cloud. And the result of that is the clouds just continued to drop lower and lower and lower, right? Whereas the lowest point of this cloud on the 16th of June, which was yesterday, was $23,300. That was the lowest point of the cloud. Now the lowest point is at this isn't now. This is on the 18th of June, so this is tomorrow. The lowest point is pretty much where we were a few hours ago, and that potentially means that if we are able to get the strength to rally up a little bit higher again, this time resistance will have caught up to the trend. And it's not just with the 1 hour Ichimoku cloud. If we take a look at other indicators like the 4 hour EMA ribbon, this has now pretty much caught up with the trend. We didn't quite rise into it last night on the pump right here, but we did get close, and it is now again. I mean, we only have to rise up by another 1.2k, $1,200. Really not that much, just over 5%, and we are going to start hitting this area of resistance. And on the 1 hour time frame, it's a totally different story because obviously the downtrend's been much more aggressive. We actually managed to break out for a little bit, but on the whole, ladies and gents, since that spread was established, you guys heard me saying this if you tuned into one of the recent videos or live streams. I actually can't remember which one I said it in, but if you did see that, if you were subscribed, you'll know that I was saying that this ribbon became useful here, and from this point and onwards, it's had a 100% success rate in predicting where we might find resistance up until this blip right here, and then it's continued to be useful now as well. So keeping an eye on these momentum indicators, a little bit less on the 1 hour time frame. I'm more interested in the 4 hour time frame because this is going to be what is potentially going to be triggering some of the bigger moves right now as we shift from an area of very, very, very high volatility to slightly lower. I'm going to be zooming out just a little bit in this case onto the 4 hour time frame, and it does look like when we are kind of taking that step back from the market, we're also pretty much, I mean, here's what's happened. Let's just break this down so we understand the chart very well. I want to put this on the 2 hour time frame. I think I'm gonna discount. Oh, what is this? I'm going to discount this bit of price action right here. This is not important to me. We initially fell down to the $20,000 level. We then got a quick bounce up. So this is the first real thing that happened at this area. We actually fell down twice, but that's not important. The broad move is up. And this time we've come back down, but we're not getting a substantial bounce. And the reason I'm saying that, and we might end up getting it later on, but for now we haven't. The reason I'm saying this and highlighting this, making it quite clear, is that on these 2 hour candles, it only took 1-2 hour candle for the market to start rallying up. This time it's taken 16 hours and we still haven't made a meaningful rally up into any of our resistance levels that we're looking at. And this is not surprising. Again, if you've been watching this channel for a while, you'll know that this $22,000 area was going to be considered support for me on the way down. And it was support, although only for one day. The market was just so weak. But the flip side is if we do slip below these levels, of course, I have to start expecting them to be resistance. And that is something that we were able to warn you guys about on this YouTube channel. So that is absolutely phenomenal. At the moment, just the fact that we are pretty much not able to get that bounce right now, to me, potentially represents that we are in some sort of a potential consolidation zone. I don't, this might not be the case, so don't hold me to it. But, the first time we got a bounce, the second time, not really. We're just kind of trading sideways. That, to me, is what consolidation means. And so, getting a weak bounce followed by consolidation at the low, that's about, that is weak. That is very, very weak. If you're not completely crashing through a support level, this is the next worst thing that you could do, in my opinion. And the reason for that, very simply, is that we're expecting 20K to be a strong area of support. It's not. It's only triggered a 14% move, not perhaps a 50% move, which I think would have been appropriate. This is a strong area of support, and the market just is not happy with it. I've got a lot more to talk about with regards to this in just a moment, by the way. So I am going to get to that. And by the way, I know I'm being very doom and gloom right now. The market is showing me this, but I'm going to get to some of the more positive things that I'm seeing as well in just a moment, so bear with me. Obviously, I'm always trying to deliver balanced analysis so that you can make your own decisions on what you think is going on in the market. At the end of the day, that's the only thing that matters. You can't be going to YouTubers and letting them make conclusions for you. That is grossly irresponsible. And shit, if you do it, I'm sorry, bro, but hopefully not. With the consolidation at lows, basically what we're doing here is we haven't been able to sustain a big bounce. We've immediately come back down, showing us that bears are retaking control very, very quickly on this market, and now we're just going sideways. The bulls aren't even able to get a push up on the market. As soon as a bit of that demand goes away, this could turn into a problem. Alternatively, it could just be an accumulation zone. It's way too easy. It's way too early to say this right now, but obviously a lot of smart people are still going to be buying at this $20,000 level, right? Regardless of what you and I think about how much lower this could end up going, 20K is a smart level to buy at. It's the previous all-time high. It's about 60-70% down from our current all-time high. So $20,000 is a phenomenal entry level, just for those two reasons alone. And I think a lot of smart traders are going to be buying for that reason. But at the same time, one of the things that I want to highlight to you actually is something that, I'm the bringer of bad news on this one today, ladies and gents. It is to do with the 1 week Ichimoku cloud. So we're zooming out very, very far right now. Bear with me while I bring this up. Look at that BLX chart gapping down. With the weekly time frame, the Ichimoku cloud can be used in a lot of different ways, and one of those ways is just by showing when we break the green cloud. And in this case, we broke the green cloud right here in 2018, and we managed to fall by a further 50%. So there's only, unfortunately, that one data point right now. But if we ended up doing something similar to that right now, see, we fell below the weekly cloud right here. If we do fall by 50% from the bottom of that cloud, that is going to be putting us at 17, or actually the number that I saw was $18,000, so roughly around that region, as a potential bottom. Just if we have a bounce, if we drop in some proportionate way to what we did last time. I'm just putting these numbers out there to give you guys a little bit of perspective on what we're going to do. I think 18,000 is quite a random number, but it does make sense if you look at it from a technical perspective. If we zoom in onto the 1 day time frame, actually it's probably more appropriate if I show this to you on the Bybit chart. No, I can't do this on the Bybit chart. We'll have to use the Bitstamp chart for this. If I show you what was going on at the $18,000 level right here, This was actually not significant in 2017. My bad. I thought there was something to it here in 2017. But it was significant in 2020 when we were breaking up. Take a look at this right here. If I replay the chart so that I can zoom in, you'll start to see that this 18K level was basically more or less around the bottom of this box that Bitcoin was consolidating in. So this actually puts it at 18.5. It doesn't matter about the precise numbers. We're just talking about this kind of range. Bitcoin was kind of holed up in this box for a little while before it ended up getting that beautiful blue sky breakout that pretty much everybody was expecting. By the way, when everybody is expecting something, it can happen. That generally means there's going to be a lot of power being pushed in that direction, and that's why collapse below 20K can't be written off. I was saying before, I don't think that's likely at all, but obviously that was before the market just fucking stabbed itself a million times and then jumped into a tub of alcohol to make it hurt even more. That's basically what's been happening in the crypto market from what I've seen. So obviously, when you see waterfall sell-offs like this, that's going to change. That's going to change my perspective a little bit, because we were not seeing waterfall sell-offs before. They were actually pretty smooth. There were big days where the legs down happened, but for the most part, it wasn't as brutal as this drop here, and definitely not as this drop here. This was a very, very big one. Realistically, guys, I did have some more bearish things to say, but now that we're at this point in the video, I have to interject this with saying again that to see two waterfall sell-offs like this, and then expect a third one to happen directly after is it's unprecedented. I don't like using words like that because it just sounds like a bit of a cop-out answer, to questions like this. But it would not be something that you could expect or something that's reasonable to think would happen. It's just too much. It's just too much. And that, it doesn't mean it can't happen, right? If we're truly looking at a situation where the whole world is totally fucked, which I just don't think is the case, but if we are, then yeah, absolutely, we're gonna do all of these unprecedented things. But let's be honest, ladies and gents, again, we start grounding ourselves. We look at things like the Fear and Greed Index that I love using. We're now at a reading of 9. We were at 7 yesterday. We were at 8 the day before, if I'm not mistaken. No, we were also at 7 then. We were at 8 the day before that. We've been below a reading of 10 actually for 4 days in a row now, and that doesn't happen often. This is quite extreme fear that we have in the market at the moment. And again, it is at a previous all-time high level. So, one of the big points that I want to make in this YouTube video, and this is hopefully where you'll start to see that this channel really separates itself from everyone else on YouTube, is there is this other aspect of, look, if I were purely a technical analyst, and I didn't care anything about psychology or things that just make sense or anything like that, if I wasn't trying to bring in any common sense and I was just a technical analyst, then yeah, everything about this is bad. Everything about this is bad. But it's primarily because we're coming from one waterfall sell-off directly into another one. Technical analysis is, how do I say? It's going to limit your vision to an extent. You're going to have to, supplement a little bit. And one of the key ways I like to do that is looking at things like this Fear and Greed Index, or just understanding how markets work in terms of, again, seeing 3 waterfall sell-offs in a row is just so damn unusual. It just doesn't happen. And especially when you consider just the sentiment in the space right now. Technically, everything we've done since we fell down here was weak. But we're also talking about one of the most manipulated asset classes in the world. The manipulation in these markets is fucking ridiculous. And all markets are quite disgustingly manipulated when you start to get into the thick of it, right? I would not suggest you research this unless you're genuinely very curious, because it is somewhat depressing. But the fact that Bitcoin isn't regulated, or not very well, and it can't be, by the way, it's not gonna come. This is Bitcoin. You can't regulate Bitcoin. That's the whole fucking point. But the thing is because of that, it has very extreme things happening to it. And when it's good, it's great. But when it's bad, it's pretty terrible. The thing is with a setup like this, where it's just so obvious that everybody should be selling their Bitcoins and so on again. To me, this isn't convincing. I'm just not buying it. I'm just not buying it, ladies and gents. And again, I'd like to take this opportunity to remind you guys that when I was saying things like this as we were approaching the all-time high, we were correct about it. We were talking about how and I say the same thing. I always try and make this point very clear with you guys that when the market is rising too quickly, like it did over here, I'm gonna tell you that, and I did, and I was constantly quite skeptical about it. And it's the same case right now. I'm quite skeptical about it. Here's the thing, if we start talking about technicals again for just a minute, we need to start reclaiming levels, and we're not doing that right now. I mean, we are at abysmal lows, and it's no good. We've got this resistance area at 22.5 roughly, and the thing is we've got to climb back up there and actually above it and come back down for a back test ideally, so that we know this area is support. Essentially what we have to do is climb up and then keep testing support so that we know we're safe. That's what an uptrend looks like. And this is looking very, very difficult for Bitcoin now. It's going to take just a crazy random spark of life that comes in to potentially save Bitcoin right here. So again, from a technical perspective, I can't lie to you guys. Like it's bad. Like it is bad because we've just come out of a waterfall sell-off, and technical analysis has its limitations. But from this perspective right here, if you are one of the bulls, you're gonna need to see this 22k area ideally reclaimed as support, and then we can start making our next charges up. Again, the big thing that I want to be reminding you guys about in these videos is that because we haven't ever really traded in these ranges before, between $20,000 and $30,000, we should be able to break through these ranges very quickly. You see, we had a waterfall sell-off primarily because there was no support between 30k over here and 20k down here. There was no support in the first place. But the only reason that there was no support was because there was no resistance. And so if there's no resistance on the way up, you don't have any support on the way down. But if you didn't have any support on the way down, well, it's still the same case, ladies and gents. There's still no resistance on the way up. This is the single best case that Bitcoin has. And the thing is, with so many people being so extremely bearish right now, with this as evidence, to me, I like the idea. I like the idea of Bitcoin potentially spiking up $5,000, $7,000, $10,000. Liquidating a bunch of people going short. I mean, I don't like the idea, but when I say I like it, I'm meaning I like I think the probability of it is high. I like that I'm open to this idea happening because it seems quite likely to me. That some sort of short squeeze like that ends up happening, especially if people don't think it will, especially if people think that it really truly is the end and all that other funny conspiracy stuff that we're at the end of the road and so on. So there you go. Those are some of my key thoughts. I've actually not even gone through like half of my notes, but this one has turned into something quite big. The other thing that I'd just like to bring to your attention very quickly is that you see, if we do end up falling below $20,000, and this is back shifting gears back into being bearish just for a second, if we do end up losing this $20,000 level, we are going to we're potentially, let's say we drop like this, this cloud is going to drop like a stone as well, and the thing is $20,000 as resistance is not good. That is a bad place to be. I mean, I'm sure no matter what happens, we'd end up breaking it again. I'm still completely rock solid in those thoughts, and I hope you guys know very well that that's not changing anytime soon. But for this point in particular, having 20k as resistance wouldn't be good, and it wouldn't just be psychological technical resistance just because it's a horizontal key level, but also that this area would then have the Ichimoku cloud down there as well. And again, the fact that we haven't even hit it yet, on the 1 hour it's pretty close, but pardon me, on the 4 hour it is still a few $1,000s higher, $4,000 higher. All of this is just showing us that if it does rise up, we could be expecting that it's going to be difficult. I am not so worried about areas of resistance like this until and unless they line up with areas of resistance like this. And the reason for that is this 1 hour Ichimoku cloud falls perfectly in my existing range. And in terms of the way I rank my analysis, this horizontal analysis is always going to be top tier. Just the simple stuff, just the basics, ladies and gents. This is the kind of thing that we're teaching inside of 𝗪𝗡𝗡𝗧's VIP with the 𝗪𝗡𝗡𝗧's Academy courses as well, which you're going to get free of charge, depending on which plan you take. Most people get it free. And the thing is that I teach everything I know, and obviously I know all the complex shiny tools as well, but I prefer to stick to the basics, and you will see why. You're going to get a really deep understanding for what it means to be a trader and an analyst in this space, in my opinion, at least, as somebody that's been doing this for quite a while, and I feel like I'm, competent. You're going to be getting it all from my perspective, and with the VIP package side by side with that course, you're also going to see how I'm implementing that in this market right in front of you, and that is a very, very powerful combination. We've seen all sorts of crazy results come out of this group, and so if you want to get a piece of that as well, the way to join is by clicking on the first link in the description down below, then clicking on the @𝗪𝗡𝗡𝗧 button at the bottom of any post inside of 𝗪𝗡𝗡𝗧's Gold. This first link here will take you into this Telegram channel where you get more free updates from me around the clock, free of charge, again, pinged straight to your phone. And once you click on my name at the bottom of any post there, click on send message, and then ask me how to join 𝗪𝗡𝗡𝗧's VIP. That's all you need to do. This is a direct chat with me, and if I don't reply, you guys know the deal. One of my assistants will. Of course, I'm trading everything I'm doing here on Bybit. Check them out with the link in the description down below. This is the only place that I'm comfortable making trades on in this market right now, and so if you want to if you want to be able to experience that as well, trade on the same exchange that I'm using, that is going to be linked down below. And the great thing about this is if you do sign up using my link, you're going to be getting up to $600 completely free of charge just by signing up using my link, and then going to the rewards section when you sign up. You'll see it right there. So go ahead and check that out. If you like free money, you're getting up to $600 just for signing up using my link, and you can do whatever you like with that money. That's anything is good. That's about the first stimulus I think that the US government gave, so that's funny. If you do want to check that out, that's going to be linked down below. That's my analysis just for now, but like I said, I'm going to try and make another video later on tonight. I am in Saint-Tropez right now in the south of France, so if you're here, if you know cool things going on, whatever, hit me up. You can reach me on Instagram, probably is the best place. That's linked in the description down below. Please, guys, by the way, for all my socials, don't fall for the impersonators. There are a lot of them. Please be very, very careful. Every single page I have is verified. So you fucking hell, like if you still fuck it up, it's just sad at this point. But yeah, please be very, very careful. And yeah, if you happen to be in Saint-Tropez or whatever, hit me up. That would be cool. I'm going to be hanging out with Max MDX crypto as well. He is here, so if you know him, that's going to be exciting as well. All right, guys, hope you have enjoyed this one. You know what to do. If you have, hit up the likes, subscribe, tick the bell, do all that good stuff. Check out VIP on screen right here. It's still discounted right now, so take advantage of it while you can. Bybit sign up link if you want some free cash up to $600, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.